Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am making the wedding video I said I would make like way back when the wedding happened, but I just got the wedding photos back, so I actually have pictures to show you of what stuff looked like and things that I picked out. So I'm just going to go through everything I could think of in terms of where things are from, and everything should be linked in the description below if you want to check anything out. If you literally want the exact same wedding as me, all the links should be below for you to do that. And then at the end, or the second half, I'm going to answer some questions that you guys asked me on Instagram regarding wedding planning and all that, and some of them may be answered during the first part when I talk about where stuff is from. So just to get right into it, I'm already out of breath. We're just going to start with what is going on with my head. That sounds weird. But hair and makeup, I actually went to Charles Penn Zone, which is in Dublin, Ohio. And Nicole did my hair, and I have been going to her for haircuts, hair colors, ever since I was like 13. So she knows how picky I am with my hair and just knows how to like work with me and talk to me. So I made sure she did my hair, and then they also did my makeup, and Melody is the one that did that for me. You had the choice of doing like traditional makeup with foundation and all that, or you could do the airbrush foundation. And for me, because it was a June wedding, it was going to be really hot. I sweat really bad and really easily, and I'm also a crier, so I wanted my makeup to stay on me, so I thought it was worth it to get the airbrush. And let me tell you, like the week or so before, I was recovering from some really bad breakouts, like right on my cheek here, and the airbrush just covered it up so nice. You couldn't even tell they were there. My cousin is actually licensed to do nails, so the day before the wedding, she drove in and did my nails for me, and they were just a really light pink color, and they were the gel nails. And after the wedding was over, I made the mistake of like peeling them off, and now my nails are like half there because I was like peeling them off. Anyway, and then my eyelash extensions, I always go to Jay, and she just started her own business, so you can go to her storefront now, and it's My Friend's Lash Bar. I had eyelash extensions for a year and a half before the wedding, and I just love them so much. I knew I would want them for the wedding because, I mean, you don't have to wear makeup. Like, you know, like if I cry, I don't have to worry about it smearing down my face. If I'm touching my eyes, I know they're just gonna bounce right back to how they look, and they look flawless. I don't have to worry about the strip lashes like falling off in any corners, or if the glue would stay on. Like, I didn't have to worry about any of that, and they just look so good. I don't have I actually got my eyelash extensions taken off a couple weeks ago, and now I am using like strip lashes whenever I want, but it's a bummer because I moved to Texas and there's just no one around here that does them as good as Jay does them in Ohio. So I will be back to see her hopefully when I get back to Ohio. But just because I'm always curious where people get their strip lashes from and like what kind they use. Real quick, these are the ones that I have on right now. The Ardell Faux Make Wispies. I don't know if you can see them very well. So yeah, these are the ones I have on right now. Before I put them on though, I like to take a little spoolie and distress them a little bit just to make them look less fixed. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, yes. But when you're thinking about your hair, makeup, and if you are getting eyelash extensions, it's important to know that eyelash extensions need at least 24 hours before you can get them wet. I like to wait 48 hours. And then for my hair, I wanted her to have either second or third day hair to work with on the day of the wedding. So planning when you're gonna shower and wash your hair is a big deal that week before, I'm just saying. And then I'm gonna get into my hair. So I had her do a really loose, low bun, and I emphasized that I wanted definition between like the crown of my head and the bun, making it obvious that there was like a bun type thing there. Lots of things that were, lots of hairs dangling out, and I had pictures on Pinterest that I was just showing her. And then the leaf pins, I went to look for the link to them, and I guess the shop is taking a break apparently, but I'll show you. Actually, I have them in here. But what it was this clip, but it was so much longer than this, and this is just a little piece of it. But basically we cut the ends off of this clip, and we just stuck the little pieces that we cut off wherever we wanted in my hair. So I think I only have one piece, but it went super far out this way and it went super far out that way. And we just bobby pinned them in my hair, all on my right side because I wanted the asymmetrical look. And then we just put some baby's breath in when the florist came to the house. But I'll link the flower or the leaf clip below anyway, just so you can see it and get to Etsy if you want. Getting into the DJ, and we went with Night Music DJ Professionals there in Columbus. This one was kind of a no-brainer because I mean, at the time they were dating, but my brother's actually engaged to their daughter, and we just knew that her parents did wedding DJ, and they've been doing it for a super long time, and they know what they're doing. Like, they are really good with understanding the flow of weddings. Like, I didn't know anything about what things people did or what order things were in, so they really put all of that into a good timeline for me. They also, I mean, they did really a good job with making sure everything was flowing. I didn't have to worry about where the microphones were. They just were there ready with everything, so that was nice. And then they also have a photo booth option that you can rent, and we decided to do that because this thing isn't a photo booth. I mean, it is, but it's like a step above what you think a photo booth is. It's not like the strips of photos. Like, I have all these pictures here to show you. They are like, where did all my nice photos go? These are like funny ones, but they're like a legit photo. And at the bottom it has our little tag, so Matthew and Caitlin, and then the date. This is me and Matt with like little cat heads on. But you can print out as many of these as you want when you're there. So if you have like a group of 4 people, you can print out 4 copies for everyone to have. And then the really nice thing is that like you can, for me, like the DJ will set it up so I can see all the photos everyone took that day, which was really fun to go through and see people take really funny photos like this. So it was really nice. This was like our party favorite people got to take home, and you can take unlimited photos, so it was kind of like a no-brainer. It was really fun. The kids loved it too. I was getting asked a lot about wedding planning and the hard parts and the stressful parts, and I must say, like, it was easy to pick the DJ, but picking out the music and making the playlist was really hard. And because I don't know if everyone knows this, but I do talk about it here and there on social media, where my dad passed away when I was 4, and I always kind of dreaded my wedding because, you know, you really want your dad to be there and to dance with you and to see you with your dress on. And I just knew, like, making the wedding playlist, you have to pick like the song you're gonna do your grand entrance to, the groom and the mother of the groom dance, that song, and then like I'd have to pick a song for me and my stepdad to dance to. And I love my stepdad so much, and it's not that like I don't love him, but it's just like I really wanted my dad to be there, so it was really hard, and I procrastinated that just because I don't like being upset, and I knew that picking out songs would make me upset, so I just kind of put it off so I wouldn't be so emotionally distressed all the time. Moving on from that, we're gonna get into the cake. So a lot of people know that Matt and I are both vegan, and we did do a vegan wedding in terms of like the food and all that. The cake we got from Patty Cake Bakery in Columbus. It's basically the only bakery I saw on Google that was in Columbus and had done wedding cakes before. But honestly, I didn't really like working with them. They were hard to communicate with and like get back to me. And then at the end of the day, the wedding cake wasn't even what I thought it was gonna look like based on the conversation I had with the coordinator. So that was kind of a bummer. I mean, it wasn't the worst looking thing. It just had like this white piping along the rims that I didn't know they were gonna put on there. And you'll see it in the pictures. Like, I didn't know they were putting that on there, and it looks kind of weird, and I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of that. But besides the fact of those negative things, the good thing is that their cake and cupcakes are so delicious. Like, so delicious. We had 6 dozen cupcakes, and then we did 2 floating tiers. And a lot of people asked me about saving money, and floating tiers is definitely a good option to cut down costs because stacking them is more expensive than just floating tiers. And we had found our cake stand. My mom found it online, but it's at Target, and I linked it below because last time I was at Target I saw it there. Super cute wooden metal stand. We got 2 9-inch tiers, and it's just beautiful. But then we just stacked the cupcakes around, and I made little signs. I'll get into all that later. But yeah, that's what we did for the cake. The flowers, just gonna touch on this because I know flowers you're just gonna go to whoever is closest to you. But for us, that was Floral Originals in Lancaster, Ohio, where the venue was. And I just have to say that Dana, the guy that was working with me, was really nice. And if you know anything about me, is I'm so indecisive, and I went in probably 4 times to change the centerpieces, and he was just really cool and handling me very well. So A+, or should I say 5 stars? I don't know. So the venue and the food, because the venue provided the food for us. So we went to Cheers Chalet, which is in Lancaster, Ohio. And the property actually has, I think, 3 different sites for the ceremony to be held. So we went with the lakeside option, and it was just really nice because the reception room is connected to the ceremony space, and everything is covered. And I was so worried about it raining, and I'm like, everything's covered, everything will be good. It did end up raining on and off, so I'm so happy that we went with that spot because we didn't have to worry about getting rained on. But the rain did hold off for the ceremony, so thank you, Mother Nature. Anyway, it was so beautiful. I'll show you pictures of what the reception area looked like. They actually updated it since I had picked the venue. They added hardwood floors and really nice barn doors to behind where the head table was, so it was really nice. And then they provided the tables, the chairs, the decorations, like the linens, the centerpiece, like I'll get into that, but they provided a lot of decorations. And with this venue, you have to spend a minimum amount, and so there were a lot of upgrades we could do that I probably wouldn't have done if we were like paying for everything additionally. But since we had to get to a minimum amount, then we just went ahead and upgraded some stuff. And then the venue did have a wedding planner, organizer, coordinator, whatever you want to call her. She basically was someone that knew exactly what the venue offered and worked with us to make sure everything was organized, and she gave us all the color options, everything we could pick, the centerpieces, all that stuff. So that was like the only kind of wedding planner I had, and she only did stuff that was specific to the venue and the food. So everything else I did on my own. I would just have to tell her like what vendors I picked so she knew who to keep an eye out for and who to work with. See, I got a lot of questions about the food specifically, and I'm just gonna run through really quick what we had. I have everything on my computer over here if you're wondering why I keep like looking this way. I really don't want to forget anything. So we had like a basic, I'm starting from like the beginning to the end of the night, kind of how the food came out. So we had the fruit and vegetable display, so a variety of fruits and vegetables. There were a lot of coconut milk based dips, there were crackers, black bean dips, and there were breadsticks that were gluten-free, and they had tomato bruschetta. I don't remember that. We must have been taking pictures when that food came out. But then there was just a basic house salad, and that was served with olive oil. You could do a balsamic vinaigrette. You could do just lemons, which is what I love to do, just lemon juice. And again, more gluten-free garlic breadsticks, which I didn't have any of those. Like, I didn't eat much of what they had because I was just running around doing pictures and all that. And then for the entree, we did a pasta bar kind of setup, and I'm trying to put the picture in your brain of what it looked like. There were just little stations with stove tops, and each station had a skillet. And you went up, and they had a nice little display, like a piece of paper that listed all your choices. And it was like, step 1, pick the kind of pasta you wanted. They had a variety, and there was a gluten-free option. And then it was like, pick all the vegetables you want, and then pick the sauce, and then pick your meat. And they had a few different like vegan meat alternatives. I got the meatballs, and they were really good. So yeah, you just pick what you wanted, and then they would saute it all together for you and give it to you, and it was so good. It was really easy, and I mean, from the feedback, everyone liked it. It was pasta. Who doesn't like pasta? Gluten-free option, because we had some guests that were intolerant, so something for everybody. So I do want to say, like, back to the wedding planner. So we worked with one girl individually before the wedding, and then the day of, because she was really tied into the food and catering. She was behind the scenes, and so there was a second coordinator on the floor with us, really making sure everyone was moving where they were supposed to and everything was on time. Like, thank goodness for that, because I don't have my phone on me, I don't have a watch. No, I didn't know what time it was. I'm like, is it time for us to do our grand entrance yet? Like, I didn't know, so she was just, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and she always knew what time it was. Everything with the venue and the food. So the next thing, or the next vendor I'm gonna get into is videography, and the two most important vendors to me were the videographer and the photographer, because in general, I'm a very forgetful person, and not like I want to forget my wedding, but it's just impossible to remember what everyone said and everything that went on because it's such a hectic, busy day. So I wanted to have both of them there to capture as much as they could, and just to give me more to look back on and remember, because that's what I wanted. So it was hard because videographers can get really pricey, and I knew the style that I wanted. It was very like movie, smooth, creative, slow motion, you know. It wasn't just someone standing there with a camera filming you, you know. I wanted it to be more than that. And even like the way that they edited it, I hate saying that, edited it, but you know what I mean. So this was also, the videographer is probably the hardest one for me to find because of like the price, the style, and I was also putting it off because obviously you're going to watch the videos that the videographer has on their website to see if you like it or not. So I would literally sit in my room and watch these videos and just cry, because you see the bride dancing with her dad and you see him looking at her and hugging, and it was just like constantly reminding me that I wouldn't have that with my dad, and it was emotional torture. Like, I hated watching these videos because they're so beautiful. But anyway, so I found Kojo Arts, and everything was perfect and spot on about how they put their videos together, and then working with them was super easy. It wasn't like during the ceremony, I didn't know. This is for the photographer too. I didn't see them. I don't know how they managed to get where they did without me like focusing on them, which is really good. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so really good, really easy to work with. They were fun, and yeah. But anyway, I would say Kojo Arts is just really affordable and really high quality. and they do provide us with like a wedding highlight video, which I have shared on my social media, but if you haven't seen that, it's linked below. And they're still working on the full length, super long wedding video for us, because I mean, they were there all day, so that's a lot of footage to go through, so can't wait to see that. But the wedding highlight video is really beautiful.
I was running to the ocean, didn't wanna be tied down to nothing, but since I met you, I didn't know.
Go check it out. Next up is photography. So way back in winter, I don't even know when, it was before I found a photographer, obviously, but I was talking to one of my friends in college, and she asked me like, "Oh, Katie, what do you have left to do for the wedding?" And I was like thinking like everything, I have to do everything, but I'm like, I need to get a photographer really bad. And she was friends with Brie and just showed me her Instagram, and I went through like her blog and her Instagram feed just to like see her style and the kinds of pictures she took. And I was just like, this is perfect. It's exactly like the editing style I wanted. And she was really good at getting the candid shots, the detail shots. So I just knew it would look really nice. So, and then like when you sit down with Brie, she is literally the personality that you want to be your photographer. She is really easygoing, and it's like your friends. Immediately. She's just really easy to talk to and work with, and she did an engagement shoot with Matt and I before the wedding, and she's just very relaxed, and it makes you feel really relaxed. It's like, I don't do photo shoots often, so it's kind of a nervous situation to be in, but she's really good at not making you feel awkward, which I am a huge bundle of awkward. But the engagement photos were really pretty, and it gave us a chance to all work together and feel what it's like to get our picture taken and how to pose and all that stuff. So really good. She did work really hard on a blog post for our wedding, so if you want to see more photos, then I'll probably put on here, then that's linked below if you want to check those pictures out. And I've also linked her Instagram on there if you want to see her feed, and then her contact if you want to get in touch with her. And all the photos that I am putting in this video are taken by her, so you can see some of her. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but anyway, all the pictures on here, taken by her, edited by her, they're beautiful, so take it all in. Again, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. With what was on the table, we're getting into like decorations and stuff. So going with the centerpieces and everything that was on the table. So again, I said earlier, I changed my mind about the centerpieces about 3 or 4 times, and the florist definitely got a little confused because all the centerpieces were different, and it was a combination of all 3 of my previous ideas. Which isn't bad, like I still liked what I picked before, I just wanted a different flower in the end. But then like the day of, I had all these different kinds of flowers, which was still fine. I just thought it was funny that everything just kind of got combined. So originally, and you'll probably see in the photo I put in here, it's baby's breath, there's a white carnation, pink roses, and then the final decision I made, I just wanted the baby's breath and pink peonies, which are on some of the tables, but just not in this photo. So all of the centerpieces are in quart-size mason jars that my mom had. Yeah, and then the little white bottle, people ask me about what DIYs I did, so I'm going to talk about those throughout this section of the video. The white bottles, I knew I wanted a little white bottle with eucalyptus in it. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I got all these little bottles in different shapes, and they were all clear, and I was like, oh, I'll just spray paint them white, and it's no big deal. And so me and my mom went to my stepbrother's shop that he has, so we would have the space to spray paint them, and he comes in like, have you cleaned the oil from your hands off of the glass? And I was like, no, what do you mean? He's like, well, you have to clean the oil off your hands or else the paint's gonna not stick in those areas. I was like, okay, cool. Do you have anything to clean them with? And he's like, yep, I do. And he's like, are you gonna spray paint them? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to. And he's like, no, because it's really hard to not make it drip down the side of the glass. And I was like, so what do you think I should do? And he does a lot of taxidermy stuff, so he has a airbrush machine and he let me use it. So I airbrushed all of these little white jars, and it was a matte white paint and it looked so perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. And then the florist just put in the little eucalyptus. It was perfect. And then, as I said earlier, the little wooden slab the venue provided for me. The little table number holder, the little wood thing, I saw those on Pinterest and I thought they were so cute and it would tie in really well with everything that we had. So I showed it to my stepdad. So he went out and cut all the branches and cut them all for me, and they turned out so cute, so cute. And then the little paper that I wrote the number on is from Hobby Lobby, and I just wrote it on there myself. What else? So the decoration on the table, we picked sandalwood colored napkins and I think it's the butler style fold, and then the table runner you can't really see because it's white, but it is there, and it's just a white burlap just to add a little bit of different texture. And I don't know if they just didn't put them out yet in this photo or where they are, but in the end they were there. And we had a couple little tiny candles that were on each centerpiece, and those are also from Hobby Lobby. I'm telling you, Hobby Lobby will have all of your wedding decorating needs for very cheap. So we had candles on each centerpiece. I think that covers it. So for the chairs, we picked the black chairs, obviously, but I don't know what that material is that we did a sash with on the back, but we added the sash and it was tied in a low knot. That way the florist could put baby's breath in the back of the chair just to add a little bit of extra flower. I don't know. Okay, so for the cake table, I thought it turned out really cute. The cake, obviously, on the floating 2-tier stand that I have linked below. All the boxes and galvanized trays were provided by the venue. And I mean, I didn't know how they were gonna do it. It just looked like this. I told them I wanted some boxes and galvanized trays and a cake, little cupcake stand, and this is what happened. Looks really cute. Black signs have the different flavors for the cupcakes and the main cake on them. I got those from Hobby Lobby. The little jars that they're in are from Hobby Lobby. And I put little black stones in it just to keep the sticks up, and that's from Hobby Lobby. You can see here some of the centerpieces that have the pink peonies in them with the baby's breath, and it looks like they put a carnation in there too, which is funny. But yeah, I think that's really it for the cake table. For decorating the cake, we just had them put eucalyptus, baby's breath, and white roses around the bottom tier, and then for the top tier we just had them put all the same stuff but in like a circle on the top tier of the cake. And I did write everything myself with a white chalk marker. It took forever, but they looked really cute just the way I wanted. Moving on to another table we had, it was just for name cards. Again, my stepdad made all of those little tiny wooden holders, and I wrote out everyone's names. And I think there was a little centerpiece there that we had left over. And then there was a third table. It was for gifts, and we had our card box and just a centerpiece, I think is all that was on it. I don't think there was a picture of it. Go ahead and show you our little card box. And again, we got this from Hobby Lobby, and it's just a very basic tin container, and I took the chalk marker that I wrote with for everything else, and I wrote cards on it in cursive. And then cute, I just wrote like Matthew and Caitlin, June 16th. Don't focus on my face. I just wrote the date on there and our names, just adding a little extra to the card box, basically. All the cards fit in there just fine. I was gonna get a second one just in case, but we didn't need them. The cards fit in there perfectly. That's it that we really picked out and did. Yeah. Anyway, moving on because I want to get through this. Into clothes. So my wedding dress I got from Wendy's Bridal, that was in Dublin, Ohio, and it was funny. I walked in with a screenshot of a dress that I found on Pinterest and I showed it to her and she was just like, we don't have that exact one, but we have this other one that I think you'll like. And I put it on and I was just like, this dress is perfect. It's beautiful. It's just what I wanted. And it was, the dress I ended up getting was the first dress I tried on. And it was funny, I like walked out of the changing room and my sister-in-law was like, am I supposed to be crying already? So I did try on probably 30 more dresses after that because we just made a fun girls' day out of it, and I went a second time up in Michigan. We went to a couple boutiques with my grandma and my aunt. I just really wanted to go shopping with them because I love them so much and I just wanted to have those memories of wedding dress shopping with them. So we tried on probably 30 more dresses and it was fun. Yeah, I've seen it. So obviously I got it at Wendy's Bridal, but I saw it on BHLDN's Instagram, which I'll link below. And I think the tag on the dress said Willoughby's. I'm not really sure, but on BHLDN's website, the name of the dress is the Rosalind gown. So if you wanted to find it, that's how you'll find it. So the shoes I ended up getting were from Aldo. I'll link them below. They were a suede material, and so when it rained, the entire shoe looked darker than it was supposed to, which is fine because it still looked cute and no one's gonna really see my feet. And of course they hurt because I wore them all day, but they were so friggin' cute and worth it, and I just liked being taller. For bridesmaids dresses, we also bummed because I wanted to take everyone to like a little boutique store and just have fun, but all the girls have like different schedules and it's really hard to get everyone to go at once, and so we could go on a Sunday, but none of those little cute boutique stores are open on Sunday. So we just went to Henry's Cloud9, which is like a prom, bridal, bridesmaids kind of place. It's huge, it's kind of overwhelming, but it was really fun, and we found their dresses so perfect for all of them, the color, the style. I would let them wear different styles if they wanted to, but they all loved the dress and it looked good on all of them. The navy color was really nice, and I liked how the front of their straps were the same as mine and the backs were like similar, but they were just a little bit different. But all the strappy stuff going on in the back, I just loved that. And I did find it on their website, so I linked their dress below. And the shoes that they wore, I just told them to wear whatever nude color heels that they wanted, so I didn't have to pick them out for them. And then just for the guys' outfits, in case anyone cares or doesn't know how to help the guy find what they need, because we went to the mall, I think it was Polaris in Columbus, and we were just kind of overwhelmed and not really sure like what to do. But we ran into Tickner's, which we were thinking was going to be expensive, but I am so happy that we went with Tickner's because they were very easy to work with, and it wasn't renting the outfit. The guys owned the outfit, they bought them, and they wore like the light gray pants, the long white sleeve button up. They had the suspenders with the buttons on them, and Tickner's altered everything for them that they needed, and they even held on to all the outfits for me because like Matt, we didn't pick up his outfit from the store until 5 days before the wedding. And thank goodness that Matt came home. on like a whim for Easter, and we went to Tickner's and they still had his outfit there. We went up there and he tried it on. They made the adjustments that he needed and they still held on to it for me before the wedding, so that was really nice. Just putting that out there. Getting into flower girl and ring bearer stuff. So the ring bearer, I wanted him to be like a little mini version of what the guys were wearing, kind of. So the shirt and the shorts that he wore are from Kohl's, and the little suspenders I just got off of Amazon, along with the little pillow that he ended up carrying. So all that is linked below. And oh yeah, and his little shoes, I just picked him up from Target a couple days before, like that week before I went to pick him up. And then the girl's dress, so my niece is the oldest one and Matt's niece is the youngest one. And so I let my niece go through all the options that I had and she picked it out. And she wanted the dress in pink, so that is what we went with. But I linked the dress below, and you can get it in white if you want, it doesn't matter. But I just loved how happy she was with the pink, and they looked so cute. I did get the little girl's shoes from Target as well. They were like $9, so I recommend going there if you need to. So for the invitations, I got the invitations, thank you cards, and the little name cards, all from Vistaprint, all at the same time. And it was just the easiest option. And we used one of the engagement photos that Brie took of us as the front of it, which I don't know. We got this as a gift, but this was the front of our invitation. It just said Mr. and Mrs. And Matt and I are in freezing cold. It was probably like 0 degrees when we did it, but at the back of it was just like all the information. So that is everything that I picked out and got, and all the vendors and all that stuff, I hope. So any questions about that, still let me know, I'll answer them. But now in this next part of the video, I'm just going to go through and answer the questions I got asked on Instagram.